People that run AI companies don't want to talk about it. They want to pretend it's not going to happen. Silicon Valley wants to pretend it's not going to happen.
Over a 5-year period, it could wipe out half of white-collar entry-level jobs. And unemployment could spike to 10 to 20% in the next 5 years.
We are witnessing what AI developer and Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei calls a white-collar bloodbath. The term may sound extreme, but when you look at the number of white-collar jobs disappearing, it starts to feel justified. We're talking about half of all entry-level positions potentially being wiped out within the next 1 to 5 years.
And this could be 1 to 5 years when you see some sort of wipeout of entry-level positions.
Once you really dive into it, you realize it can do the work already of researchers, of analysts, of a whole host of entry-level white-collar jobs.
We were told robots would take the dirty jobs, lifting steel, stocking warehouses, maybe even driving trucks. But that idea already feels outdated. In 2025, it's the spreadsheet workers, PowerPoint creators, and corporate email interpreters who are feeling the cuts. AI isn't coming for grease-covered workers. It's coming for the educated class. From 2024 to 2025, the tech industry has eliminated more than hundreds of thousands of jobs worldwide, marking a scale of layoffs not seen since the dot-com collapse.
Amazon, Alphabet, Meta have all cut double-digit percentages of their workforce.
Entire departments have been dissolved and multi-year projects quietly canceled. What this points to is a deeper structural shift in the industry. This wave of layoffs is directly linked to the AI investments these companies have made, and this is only the beginning. The devastating impact of AI on jobs is most visible in entry-level positions, roles that once served as stepping stones for fresh graduates eager to learn and contribute.
What we're seeing right now for new grads is sort of this perfect storm between the uncertainty in the macro environment and the disruption we are starting to see play out more and more day by day from AI taking on more tasks of entry-level work.
The headlines about AI taking away entry-level jobs can be misleading. Companies are still hiring for so-called entry-level roles, but the expectations have shifted. These new hires are often expected to perform the work of experienced employees, and instead of building full teams, companies are filling roles with just one highly capable individual. KPMG has reportedly adopted this approach.
KPMG is now giving new grads higher-level tax work that used to go to people that had, I think, 2 or 3 years worth of experience because AI is handling a lot of the grunt work.
Instead of growing into roles, new employees are expected to hit the ground running. They handle tasks meant for those with 3 years of experience, in addition to the grunt work that entry positions once included. But the difference is, they're expected to use AI tools to do the old work faster. The result is more work, fewer colleagues, and skyrocketing expectations. People often focus on AI taking jobs, but what's frequently overlooked is how AI is also making work more stressful. It's a double burden for employees. When companies lay off staff, they expect those who remain to pick up the slack, to work faster, with fewer resources, all under the assumption that AI makes everything easier. But that's not always the case. AI tools can actually make tasks more complex. Asking ChatGPT to write a report isn't the end of the job. You still have to review it, fix errors, and ensure it's accurate and professional. That adds extra steps. So instead of doing less, workers often end up doing more. Meanwhile, companies claim greater efficiency while shifting more responsibility onto employees without offering extra support or pay. According to a report by CNBC, AI burnout is now a major risk at workplaces. A nationwide survey of 1,150 American workers found that 63% expressed fears about the implementation of AI in their jobs. Even more striking, 61% believe AI will actually accelerate burnout. The numbers become even more alarming when broken down by age. Among younger workers, the group supposedly most comfortable with AI, nearly 90% reported fears of AI-induced burnout. This suggests that while the rising generation may be tech-savvy, they're not necessarily prepared for the psychological toll of fast-paced, AI-driven work environments. In the end, workers are losing time, energy, and support, while companies cut costs. Even the CEO of Anthropic warns that governments can't just say, "It will all be fine." Leaders need to act before it's too late.
Policymakers do need to worry about it If they do worry and they do act, then maybe we can prevent it. But we're not going to prevent it just by saying everything's going to be okay.
It is disturbing to discover that schools are still teaching students skills for jobs that don't exist anymore. Governments are moving too slowly, while companies are moving faster than everyone else. In 2024, the IRS started using AI for audits and was able to cut review time. That's efficient, but it also meant hundreds of accountants lost their jobs, and no one knew where to put them. Education systems prepare students for the world before AI, not the world we live in now. As a result, many graduates will be completely unprepared with skills no one wants.
In order to prepare those students for the world that they're going to step into, not the world that existed 10 years ago.
There won't be a big retraining program. There's no backup plan. This change is moving too fast for anyone to build a safety net in time. When the AI hysteria started, repetitive jobs were the main focus, and it was generally assumed that creative jobs were safe from AI. It was believed that real creativity couldn't be copied by machines, but this assumption was wrong.
We're risking really replacing the replacement of human creators and human artists.
Now, AI tools like ChatGPT, Jasper, and Midjourney can generate good enough content quickly and at scale. They don't get tired, don't ask for raises, and can produce endless material on demand. In 2025, Ogilvy UK laid off 25% of its creative staff to improve workflow. The creative work still got done, just not by the original artists. On freelance platforms like Upwork, AI-generated articles cost as little as $2. Clients aren't looking for brilliant ideas. They want fast, cheap, decent content. It doesn't have to be special. It just has to get the job done. Even software engineers are at risk. GitHub Copilot X can write cleaner, faster code than many junior developers. So companies now hire one engineer who knows how to use AI instead of 5 regular ones. Ironically, many of the engineers being replaced helped train the AI that took over their jobs. The shift isn't just about replacing workers. It's also about changing how companies work entirely. For example, Unilever changed its entire global HR system to run on AI. It now filters resumes, watches internal chats, measures employee mood, and even suggests who should be fired, which means employees are now seen as data points, not people. If your mood or performance shows up as a risk in the system, you might be flagged automatically. Startups proudly say they have no human overhead. These are factors that used to be warning signs, but are now seen as smart business strategies. So is there any hope we can cling to? Most experts believe that this is not a hopeless situation, but a paradigm shift. The future won't reward people just for working hard. Instead, the winners will be people who know how to give the right commands to AI, train it, and direct it. In many cases, AI is already doing virtually all the work. What's left for humans is just a fraction, and even that is quickly disappearing. Experts warn that the gap is closing fast. Today, value doesn't come from completing tasks yourself, but from managing and refining the systems that do them for you. For decades, we believed that getting a college degree meant you'd have a stable future. That's no longer true. We now have a situation where graduates are not even sure if they can build a stable career anymore. This is a situation psychologists are calling career shock. An AI expert recently said that by 2030, 70% of jobs will require different skills than today. So if you're not constantly learning and adapting, you're falling behind.
70% of the skills for the average job, according to our data, will have changed by 2030. So you don't need to have a 5 or 10-year plan. You just need to have a today plan. And you're going to have, according to our data, twice as many jobs than professionals did 15 years ago.
To succeed, workers need to stop thinking like employees who simply follow orders. Instead, they should focus on what AI can do, and more importantly, what it still can't do without human input.